Welcome back to 360 Sports. Happy Thursday. Today's a frenzy show, and I'm in a really good mood for this show. I'm here with Kylee again, Fernando, and Ben, and I'm your host, Sophia, and we're going to talk to you about everything across the sports right now. There's a lot going on, but the first, baseball is in full swing. It's kicking off. Opening day happened. Everyone's getting really excited. I see people have games on all day. They're switching in between. But the Athletics are officially leaving Oakland for Vegas after 2024, and they'll play games in Sacramento until their Vegas stadium is ready. What do you guys think about this, Kylee?
I think this is just interesting because, as far as I've been, watching sports and being involved in sports as much as I am, you don't really see this a lot.
Yeah.
So it is really interesting for a whole team to pick up and move like this, in my opinion, because a lot of the time they just choose to, build these teams from the ground up. I think moving to Vegas will be great. There's never not going to be people there that don't want to watch them. Switching stadiums, you never know what that's going to do to a team. You never know how that's going to affect them. But I'm interested to see how this goes over just because, I feel like Vegas is not generally really known for sports, so this could be something cool for Vegas as well for this team as a whole.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'll bring that attention.
It's going to be awesome for Las Vegas when it comes to in 2028. But I'm not surprised too that they're leaving Oakland. This was going to happen at some point. The thing that surprises me is that it ended this quickly because I thought what was going to happen is where they were going to stay in Oakland and then go to Vegas after. But to go to Sacramento, they're going to be even playing in a minor league stadium for 3 years. So it's going to feel weird for the A's to play in a minor league stadium. They're awful, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I just think it's really sad I feel bad for Oakland fans because you see the Warriors they moved. As well as the Oakland Raiders, they moved as well. Yeah. Next up, the Oakland Athletics. But that stadium they got is rough. No one shows up to there. I think they had 5,000 fans at one game, opening weekend. So I'm not surprised. It's just really sad to see, and I really feel for Oakland fans because I couldn't imagine having a baseball team in my hometown.
Yeah, I feel like that breaks up the chemistry, and that's a huge part of playing Major League Baseball. I feel like having that atmosphere, having those fans, I can't imagine being one of those players and genuinely being happy about this 3 years because by the end in 2028, I feel like when they get there, I don't know if it's not going to be the same team.
No,
it's not. Even once they get to that stadium, it's just they might be they might have no spirit by then. They might not even be ready to play in that type of game.
Yeah, it's tough to see. Like I mentioned, they definitely need a new stadium, but it just sucks it has to be out of Oakland. Just considering the fact that.
And in a minor league stadium as well.
Yeah. But it's tough. It's tough to see, but certainly good for this organization to move on. Maybe get a higher payroll at some point.
Yeah, I agree. Well, on some better news, though, some teams are really starting off hot this season. The Yankees are 6-1, and the Pirates are 5-1. Did you guys expect this? What did you think? I know a while ago, some people predicted who they thought was going to have a really good season and start off hot. What did you guys think?
Well, you want to go first?
Yeah, the Phillies, more importantly, are 2-4, so that's all that I really care about. From me, the Yankees, I guess, would be my backup team as far as that goes, so that's good to see. I feel like, they have their up and down years. The Pirates, though, I feel like that came out of nowhere, to be honest. I just not a Pittsburgh fan, obviously, so, that I don't really care about. But at the same time, it is very interesting for them to come out with such a hot start as they have, and for a team like the Phillies, who went so far last year, to really kind of be, sitting back. I'm interested to see how the whole rest of the season goes, just with these new teams, some of the new players that they got, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think this is going to be a great season overall for the MLB.
Yeah.
Just like you, I only care about the Phillies. Yeah. I don't care about the other teams, but with the Phillies, I'm not shocked. This is what they always do. They always start off slowly, and then they pick it up in August or in July. So I feel like there's still time for the Phillies. The team I'm kind of surprised. Is the Yankees. They went on a 7-game road trip. They played the Astros, and then they played the Cardinals. The Diamondbacks. Yeah. And they won 6 out of 7. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And considering that they got Juan Soto and the chemistry that they need to build, and they build it that fast, that's very impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, what surprises me is that the Aaron Judge has not been playing that great to start out.
Yeah, I've been seeing that too.
He hit his first home run yesterday. Yeah. But unlike you guys, I'm a big Pirates fan.
I know you are. I was waiting for your turn.
Happy. I'm so happy about this. Actually, speaking of that, I have the game up right now. We're up 5-1.
Okay,
I'm going to make it 6-1. But the thing is, like the Pirates, like everyone was like, oh, like they got a lot of young talent. Like they could be a dark horse. I remember Chris Reynolds bringing up them being a dark horse team. But I mean, I love seeing, like, I mean, even as like a Major League Baseball fan, I feel like it's nice seeing like new teams.
Yeah.
Like you see like the Dodgers, you see the Astros always making the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, like seeing the Pirates, like a team like the Pirates, like they're doing well. I feel like that's good for any fan. Not just because I'm a Pirates fan. I mean, because we've seen last year, Pirates were like 20-8 in April, like the best record in baseball, and then they plummeted.
That does tend to happen, but you must be excited. Like Pittsburgh this year is supposed to be like up there with sports all around, so that must be pretty exciting. But I'm happy for the Pirates. I thought also that they would be a dark horse in the beginning of the season, especially like you said, they got the young team. They've been in kind of like a drought like these past couple of years, not actually making it all the way. They kind of would start off like the Mets, like start off really hot and then fall off. My poor Mets, they're like, I think, pretty sure like they're like one of the only 2 teams without a win right now.
Yeah. That is going to be my exact reaction, Andrew McCutcheon, if they make the playoffs.
Look, I'm not trying to take any away from you Pirates fans, but like let's look at they've beaten the Marlins, who have no wins, and the Nationals.
Okay, but you're supposed to win the games. You're supposed to. A good team beats the teams that they're supposed to beat, and that's exactly what they're doing. Even though they may have lost last night, they're up big right now, and they went into Miami to start the season, battled back in most of those games. So. I mean,
you know what though? They're on that momentum. It doesn't matter. I feel like it doesn't matter who they play right now, because in the beginning, if you're on that momentum, you're on a 5-1 streak. You're gonna go into playing against the Yankees or playing against the Astros.
Yeah, I know.
So next on our segment, we have NFL news. I think everyone might have saw this, but Stefon Diggs is going to the Texans. Yeah. There's a lot of controversy about this. I just think that is crazy. It means a lot for Houston. Honestly, means a lot for the Bills. What do you guys think about this?
I think this is going to help Houston tremendously. I feel like Houston, again, is one of these teams that kind of flies under the radar. Yeah. You know, they have a young quarterback. They're still, last year was better, but they're still trying to figure out a lot of things out. And I think pulling in a star wide receiver like Stefon Diggs is, with the experience that he has for a younger quarterback, is going to be so helpful for this team. They are in the AFC, though, so you kind of have to look at who else are they going to be playing. You know, you have a team like the Chiefs, who year after year have been very consistent and very good with what they do. Yeah. You have no clue how they're going to come out this year, but you can't sit back and just hope that game goes well. Now they also have to go back and play the Bills. And that's just going to add so much animosity and tension as a total to that game already, based on the fact that he is now went from the Bills to the Texans, and they're in the same division. So you kind of have to look at things like that. I feel like where it's just like, that high intensity and that much animosity can really make or break games. Yeah. Other than that, I think they're going to do fine. I think this is going to be a good year for them. You know, you never know how any team is going to go out, but looking at some of these AFC teams, you just know, like, they're going to beat these certain teams. And if they don't, then that's something that they need to figure out as the time comes.
I think the Texans are also making the AFC South a lot more dangerous.
They are.
Because it's the Texans, it's the Jaguars, and then the Colts didn't do too bad last season. No. Yeah. They were doing pretty good. And then the Titans, they've recruited some more people in this free agency. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to see, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, with the Texans, like, I had to give, like, a lot of props to the Texans. They, like, won this trade by a lot. I mean, like, getting Diggs, but also, let's look at, like, the Texans 2 years ago. Like, they were a laughing stock.
Oh, yeah.
And in less than 2 years, they become, like, a contender for the AFC. Like, they got a great quarterback in C.J. Stroud. They just added Joe Mixon as their running back. Yeah. And they got, like, two amazing wide receivers, not just Diggs, but Nicole Collins and also T.J. Dell.
They have Tank Dell,
Tank Dell. And they also have Dalton Schultz. So they have, like, a high-powered offense. And also their defense, they have a defensive-minded coach in DeMarco Ryans, who's a heck of a coach. So, like, I'm really excited to see how the Texans do this year.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Like, the Texans were terrible, like, 2 years ago, and then, like, they got C.J. Stroud, made the playoffs, almost won a playoff game, or did win a playoff game, but almost made it to the conference championship. But, yeah, I mean, like, for the Bills side, like, their downfall needs studied, because they just lost, like, everybody. Like, they lost so many pieces on defense. They obviously lost their best receiver in Stefon Diggs. But this definitely makes, I feel like, personally, in my opinion, this makes the Texans the AFC South favorite for sure.
Also, like, what the heck were the Bills thinking? You're trading your best weapon for a second-round pick.
I think a lot of it had to do with Stefon Diggs, though, being such, like, the mindset that he has. I know he doesn't have the best attitude, I feel like, about winning. This is it's a lot about money for him. So
I agree with that.
I don't know if, like, as much as like the Bills don't have to trade him, you don't know, like behind the scenes, he must have been really pushing and
I
pushing
did actually hear about that.
for that.
I did hear about that. Also, just like the second half of last year, like he wasn't really that good. I mean, you saw in the playoff game, you saw in his last playoff game, a big catch went right through his hands. So I mean, it's just like.
I mean, like you said, you also have to think about you have no clue about their locker room lifestyle and how everything goes on behind the scenes. So honestly, he might have done well, but like he could have just been an awful fit with the rest of those players, and sometimes that's when you know it's time for them to go, unfortunately.
Also, something that the Texans did that was very smart is they took away 2 years of his contract, and they only made it 1 year. So now next year he's going to be a free agent. So like Diggs is going to have a lot of motivation to show out that he deserves a contract. So like that's another great thing that the Texans did.
They're smart. They're a smart team. They've got a good defense. They have a good offense. I am rooting for them.
They're going to be very dangerous for a long time.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them all the way. They're honestly
good.
having the same story, kind of like the Chiefs had when Patrick Mahomes' rookie year, like when they came out and changed their whole game up.
Yeah.
But moving on, we have April Madness. I know yesterday was our March Madness show. Me and Kylee talked a lot about what was going on, but even more that came out that what teams each girls are prospected to go to. We have Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camille Cardoso, Cameron Brink, and Aliyah Edwards. It's a lot. They're expected to go to crazy teams. Even I know Indiana, I saw that the tickets are already like $360 at least because people think that she's going to go there, which is just crazy. What do you think?
I saw the projections today that they came out, the top 10, 15 projections of where they think these girls are going to go and how they're placing. So the top three, well, Caitlin Clark is obviously at the top going to the Fever, followed right up by Cameron Brink going to the LA Sparks.
Yeah.
I think that's not going to change.
Yeah.
I think that's set in stone. Those are going to be good moves for them as far as if that's where they go. I want to say Serena Inescu plays for the Fever. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But just imagine the two of them there together. She just went up head-to-head with Stephen Curry in a three-point shooting contest at the beginning of the year. So it's just like, even if they're not on the same team, watching them play against each other also is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I want to say Angel Reese was 6th, 7th, somewhere in that area.
She was 7th, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, she was projected to go to the Minnesota Lynx. Now, I think she's ready to go, and it's good time for her to go. But like I mentioned yesterday, there's a lot of a mental game now in sports, and I think she really needs to work on that.
Yeah.
Because you have a coach that, again, I support women's sports to the end, but you have a coach that really, really just kind of lets these players do as they please, and that's not going to fly in a professional women's basketball league that's watched worldwide.
Yeah.
Like, while, yes, the college basketball women's world has like grown so much, but I would rather have someone watch Caitlin Clark than I would have them watch Angel Reese, simply based off the fact that like you have to set that standard for yourself, and I'm just a little bit worried about where she's going to end up and how she's going to fit in with these teams. I'm so excited to see where she's going to go, but I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done over the summer and once this draft does happen, because that's a lot of reasons, like we just said, that teams end up parting with these players, and I don't want to see her leaving a team after 1 year.
Yeah, I just think her coach riled her up a little too much, and that they'll see that she can, if she can fix her maturity level and be ready and quality for the for the WNBA, then all props to her.
Yeah.
I'm excited for her.
Yeah. Like all these prospects look amazing, like especially Caitlin Clark. Like if you don't know who Caitlin Clark is, like please.
I think at this point.
like you have to know Caitlin Clark. Like she's gonna revolutionize the WNBA when she gets there.
Yeah.
Like I even remember reading this. Like the draft is like tickets are all sold out because everyone's expecting Caitlin Clark to be the first overall pick.
Yeah.
So like it's exciting to see like all these prospects how they're revolutionizing the women's sports and the women's basketball game. So like this is gonna be amazing, to be honest.
Yeah,
Ben?
I mean we've talked about Caitlin Clark for months on end. Like obviously one of the best. Probably the best one of the best college basketball players of all time. But then we also talk about Angel Reese, who you guys said like has maturity problems off the court, but she's averaging 18 points and 13 rebounds a game. I mean, like who can pass up on that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to give it to her. Obviously, her talent.
Yeah, and then we also talk about Cameron Brink, who's 6'4", like very, very tall, who is also averaging 17 points and 11 rebounds a game. So, I mean, like it's gonna be interesting to see where these girls land. But yeah, I mean, Caitlin Clark for sure, definitely going #1 overall. So
Yeah.
Also, I agree with you about Angel Reese. Like, she needs to get more mature because, like, it's obvious, like, it's gonna catch up to her at one point in the WNBA, and also, she kind of reminds me a little bit of Dylan Brooks, to be honest. Like, she always wants to be that villain.
yeah.
She kind of wants the media. But away from, they're great people. But I also saw that Camila Cardoso and Cameron Brink are prospected to go to the same team.
I could not be more excited about that because I saw
That's
that
great.
too. But I feel like Cameron Brink kind of, not that she flies under the radar, but she doesn't get as much of the overall press as I feel like these two do.
Yeah.
And I know she does a lot with Stephen Curry, which obviously probably helps her so much more. But I saw a video today of Dawn Staley. They saw each other today, and she was like, "Don't go, like, come to us." So, I mean, I think she's going to be a great fit in the WNBA just based off of she has that maturity level, and she's ready to go, and she's at that point like Caitlin Clark is. They're seniors. It's time to go.
Yeah.
They have to go. So I'm just so excited. And, you know, as a South Carolina fan, Camila Cardoso, like, wherever she's going to go, she's going to kill it too. So imagine these two powerhouse athletes on the same team, along with other professional powerhouse athletes at this point. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be dangerous. And
Yeah.
then Aliyah Edwards, who I don't want to shy away from because she's on UConn, great team. I know Paige Breaker is on UConn. She's the one who has a lot of the publicity right now, and she's a great player. She deserves all of it. But Aliyah Edwards is also someone who's been having a phenomenal season and is definitely ready for the WNBA.
Yeah.
She's supposed to go to the Dallas Wings, which I think will be a really good fit for her, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of UConn, I mean, UConn and Iowa, they play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that'll be big to see.
Oh, I'm
That's gonna be a heck of a game.
I'm sitting myself home for that game. I won't be going
Yeah.
anywhere. I'll literally
Yeah.
sit
Paige
and watch that
Beckers,
game from
Caitlin
start
Clark,
to end.
that is box office.
gonna be-
Yeah, I mean, I'm just interested to see what LSU is going to do next year because you have Flau'jae staying.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with Haley Van Lith?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe
Because
the transfer portal.
She was so ready to go to that team. And to be honest, I mean, I never watched her at Louisville. I'm not a fan. But seeing what she did at LSU, I was kind of like, again, you just kind of saw a change in the personality-wise of her more than anything, which I was like, that's not...
So it might
She
just
already
be the
had the
team for
attitude
her.
coming in.
Yeah.
She had that attitude coming in.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like, watching her against Iowa, I wasn't impressed with anything, so I'm kind of wondering if she's going to stay or go.
It might be that. It might just be that atmosphere that isn't for her. I think there's so many better teams across the college. I think she needs a couple more years in college.
I agree.
So that she can find her spot, because if she can get comfortable in college, then she'll be definitely prepared for the WNBA. I want her to enter the draft eventually when she's ready. So that's what I'm hoping for.
I'm very interested to see if she stays or goes.
I want to ask, like, are you confident South Carolina's going to win it all?
I mean, I have them winning my bracket simply just based off of, like, that's what I want to win. I
just
really
feel-
don't know how this weekend's going to go, and
Yeah.
that's really what's tripping me up right now, because I feel like Paige Beckers hit that really, really high last 2 years ago because she was out last year for the ACL. Whereas, like, Caitlin Clark kind of just hit that really high last year.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, the beginning of the USC-UConn game, UConn was down like 12 points.
Which is a lot for
Which
UConn.
is a
That's
lot.
a lot
Exactly.
for UConn.
So I'm kind of like, you know, Gino has that reputation, doesn't have a deep bench. Whereas Iowa can put in different girls with each other and they play perfectly fine. A lot of UConn's team is hurt right now.
That's true.
So it's just, you have to look at those type of things. Either way, I'm going to be happy with whoever wins. I just feel like right now Iowa has more of that like fight
Yeah.
to get there because UConn's always there.
Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm going to be rooting for Caitlin Clark. Like,
Yeah.
to go off in your last season winning it all, like, it would stamp her as the greatest college basketball player, women's, of all time.
Yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
you just said, Paige Beckers has more time.
Yeah.
Like, this is Caitlin Clark's last moment, so I just feel like this is bigger for them personally than it is for UConn.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. But moving on here from March Madness and basketball, oh my gosh, I love it, but let's move on. We're going to go across the leagues. No, we're going to blind rank popular athletes. Since it's a frenzy show, I feel like it'd be like a good idea to just go across all the popularity that's going on right now. So many athletes have emerged just in this past season, even in this past 2024 year. So
Yeah,
I
gotta
think we
mix it
should
up.
blind rank them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Let's do it.
Let's
We're
do
gonna
it.
get the first one.
Oh man.
Oh.
This
I
is
had
my
a feeling,
guy.
I had
This is
a
my
feeling
guy.
he was going to be first. I had a feeling this was going to be the first one that came up. I don't know why, but man, this is tough.
I want to put him high because of all the scandal that just happened around him.
I was going to say,
He's
there's a lot of scandal.
popularity, like talent alone. He's popular because everyone's talking about it.
And also, like, let's not forget, he's not just a bat. He not only can he hit, he can also pitch. Even though he's hurt right now and can't pitch right now, he's still that guy who can do everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. 'Cause I feel like he is the most popular, but I feel like since it's the first one,
I feel like
I would say 2.
Yeah, I was going to put it at 2.
3.
Well, be safe.
3.
2.
2. I would put it at 2.
I'm going to put it at 2 because not as big as college basketball is and whoever could be in here, not every single person watches it. I just feel like there's a big watching around like the MLB.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
Plus he's like well known and like where he like used to play in his hometown as
Yeah,
well. So I just feel like that's like makes him even more
nationally, exactly.
Yeah.
Like people outside of the U.S. might not be watching like March Madness. And
so I kind of agree.
Okay, we'll go with 2 for this one.
Right.
Okay.
Biles.
So Simone Biles, I feel like this is hard because I feel like, her gymnastics career was so much, and now I feel like people have shifted to she's the husband of an NFL wife.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
wife of an NFL husband.
There you go, you got it.
So I feel like that's where everyone's kind of gone with that now, which is unfortunate because it's like she still is one of the best Olympians,
Really?
like America.
I feel like it's that her husband is the husband of an gymnast. Wait, yes, of a gymnast.
I don't know. It goes
remember
back
that
and forth.
controversy?
I feel like
was
it goes back and forth, and that's where I get
Yeah.
so stuck on her because I don't know if she's.
I mean, she's
competing.
He said he didn't know who
medalist.
she was
The thing-
when he first met her.
Yeah.
The thing with Simone Biles, like, she's more. You can say that she has more popularity because she's performing like the best in gymnastics at the highest stage, which is the Olympics, which will happen again this year in Paris. And the thing is, 3 years ago, like, she didn't show her gymnastics. She was just like, it was about her mental health. So that's the thing that could have that's something that could have affected her popularity lately.
I was thinking 4.
I was thinking
only
4
because
too.
Yeah.
right now she doesn't have all that press around
No.
her. Nothing crazy's going on. The last thing that happened was her wedding and then her husband and that controversy.
Yeah.
Before that, like you said, it was the mental health.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with 4.
I agree with you, 4.
I feel like whenever when the Olympics come around, she's gonna be higher in the list.
In fact,
but-
if it wasn't for like her mental health, I would even put her higher than Otani, to be honest.
Next
So
one.
4. Travis Kelce. I mean, we all know this. We all know about Taylor Swift.
I feel
Travis
like
It's the
Kelce.
off season now.
I feel like simply based on the fact that
He's my number 1.
I would say he goes 1 as well, simply
No.
based off of the fact that, he is Jason Kelsey's brother. That already brings in a lot of popularity.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you think he's a good football player or not. That brings in a lot of his popularity.
Yes.
Coming second is the fact that they have that podcast together. Personally, I watch that
I
podcast.
watch it too.
They
It's
just
very
had Saquon Barkley on. They just had Arnold Schwarzenegger on. Like, they're bringing these people in. This isn't just some random podcast anymore. And then you want to put him with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they're like that factor. That factor
the
puts
women of the world. By the way,
like that
the
attracts women to like watch the
Every
sport.
single day when I go on my phone, there's some picture of them. There's something about them.
Yeah.
I would
They're
put
in
him at
Bahamas
1.
right now.
In fact, if I had the Swiftie factor, like made this year's Super Bowl one of the like probably the most watched in history. So like that's the thing with Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift has attracted so
It's
much
that effect.
popularity.
I mean,
His
one of
jersey
the-
sales went up 400%.
Exactly.
After
So
she
if-
showed up to his game.
I would put him at number 1.
Yes. Okay,
I'm
put
putting him at
yeah,
number
I would
1.
put him at number 1 too.
Okay. Oh my God.
Oh,
We shouldn't have done
I don't know
one.
why I didn't see this coming. I thought it was too obvious that
but-
she'd be on here, so
Well, I
I didn't.
think that was
Honestly,
great.
here's the thing though, is Taylor, I still agree that he goes number 1 because Taylor Swift is a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
You can't guarantee that people worldwide are watching
Well, I
March
think it's a good
Yes.
third spot. I think it's a good 3 spot.
I thought we took
no,
the
we
3.
no, we
No,
took yeah,
no,
two.
we
Yeah,
didn't.
because we
no,
know
we
Travis
didn't. We
Kelce.
have a 1, 2, and 4.
Oh,
okay.
we're on the 5th? Oh, okay.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
it'd be good 3. Oh, then I'm not mad about it. I thought we were on 5. I
Yeah,
felt
3.
bad.
We still have
Okay.
one more.
No, I
so
mean,
let's
in fact-
hope and
We'll
pray.
do 3.
She's fine at 3. Yeah.
Yeah, with Caitlin Clark, it's like okay then.
Well,
Oh well, this would have been number 1.
Okay. In Fernando's game, this would have been number 1.
yeah.
For me,
For me, I'm fine with him being at 5, to be
fine
honest.
with
I don't
being
watch
fine.
enough
Yeah, I
soccer
don't
to
watch
really.
enough soccer.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. In the United States, you don't watch enough soccer. So yeah, I could understand Americans putting them as number 5, but worldwide, he would be
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah.
Because like soccer is the most popular sport in the world.
Yes.
And the World Cup attracts so much attention. And when you think Neymar, you think Brazil.
yes.
And that's what like the thing about Neymar. And I think he has like the 3rd most followers on Instagram. So like that's also the thing.
If we did a soccer one where we were blind ranking soccer popularity, he'd be my number 1 whenever he popped
If
up.
Messi or Ronaldo
Ronaldo.
was there, no.
Ronaldo would definitely be one for me.
No, Messi for me.
Have you seen that guy?
Bothers me.
Have you seen that guy's
Ronaldo
Instagram
bothers me
followers?
too, but I still admire his greatness.
I know. You're right. I take it too personal. But all right, moving on. We're going to compare athletes across the league. There's a lot of people that are really like reflecting each other right now, and I think that we're gonna go. Kylie, your first comparison.
Yes. So I feel like this one. I mean, you could see this coming, but I did Stephen Curry and Patrick Mahomes simply based off the fact that I feel like they have very similar play styles as far as where they are in the league right now. Patrick Mahomes is no longer considered, he's young, but I wouldn't consider him one of the younger players anymore. He's, fifth year?
This
Fifth
is
year.
sixth.
Fifth year.
Fifth, sixth, something
Sixth
like
year.
that. So I consider him now like not a younger player anymore, and obviously Steph Curry has completely put in his work for the NBA.
Yeah.
These players, while I love watching both of them play, they like to be flashy. Patrick Mahomes likes to throw sideways with his arm. Stephen Curry likes to pull up from half court. Like, that's just kind of their play style. Aside from being flashy, though, they can do a lot of things that other athletes can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see many other people, running, throwing, passing the way Patrick Mahomes does. They can try. They might get there. They might get close. But I don't see all the players in these leagues playing as well and as different as these two players do. They both draw a lot of attention. It's known that they're good at what they do, and they draw a lot of attention to their teams and themselves and both of their respective leagues as well. Like I said, I think they're both very good at what they do, but you have to add in the factor there that sometimes they're just trying to do it to get the highlight out of it.
Yeah, I definitely like that pick.
Yeah, I like that pick. In fact, when I think about highlights, the first names that come up to me
There's
are Mahomes and
always
Curry.
something of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they always like to make those explosive plays and those plays that blow your mind.
Yeah.
Like Golden State, they've had way better years than they're having right now, but almost every single week there's something new about Stephen Curry.
And not just that, like both these athletes carry their teams. Like let's be honest, like they're the leaders of their team. Without them, they don't have like a soul in the team.
I mean,
Exactly.
the Warriors should not be anywhere near playoff contention right now, but I mean, you got Curry.
Exactly.
And as for the offense for Mahomes, like that offense was not very good last year at all.
And Fernando, what do you think for your picks?
Well, I went with Cristiano Ronaldo and LeBron James. Look, for me, the biggest reason I chose both of them is because, first of all, they're both 39, which is kind of funny, but they have longevity.
Yeah.
Longevity. And most of the public knows them as the GOAT or the second best player in their individual sport.
Yeah.
But also, at 39 years old, they're still making huge impact on their teams. Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia, yes, I know not many people know about the Saudi Arabian league and that stuff, and I completely understand. But he's still making huge impact in that league. He has 29 goals in 24 games. Like he just scored back-to-back hat tricks in the last 2 games, which is very impressive. And LeBron, he's averaging 25 points in year 21, and I don't see him like retiring in like at least 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's still making a huge impact for the Lakers. So like this is the thing with both of them. Like longevity is the big reason why like it's so great to compare these both athletes. Also, like let's mention Ronaldo's going to the Euros, which is the European Championship this summer. He's going to be the captain at 39 years old. Like that's incredible. Like you're leading your own country at 39 years old. And then also LeBron, he's probably going to the Olympics and represent the United States.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like that's impressive. Like being 39 years old and being the leader of your country, that's impressive. And also like you can with them, you have to appreciate their greatness because it's not going to last that long. So like appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we're witnessing history watching these two play.
Yeah.
And you have to, like you said about the age being 39, that is a huge factor of what they're doing
That's
right
insane.
now. The records that they're putting up. I know LeBron's probably trying to stay in the league until Bronny gets drafted so that they can play together. So that's going to add even some more years. He's going to play into his 40s, I think. So yeah, that's a really good comparison.
Yeah, I like that. Just considering like you see LeBron like jumping like he is like a 25-year-old. Like he's in such a great shape.
Yeah, look at Ronaldo. Also,
Like,
let's look at Ronaldo and LeBron. They don't look like 39 at all.
No.
They look like 25 or
gonna be a
30
weird
in their
day.
30s, early 30s at their least.
I don't know where I'll be at 39, but it won't be where these people
It's gonna be
are.
a weird day seeing these guys.
And they revolutionized the sport so much, even
Yeah.
though most people won't consider them the GOATs of the sport, but they have made so much impact to that sport that you can't deny it.
Yeah, I agree. And Ben, what about your pick?
Well, for my picks, like the similarity between these two guys is that they both played different sports besides their like initial sport. Like Michael Jordan basketball, Bo Jackson football. They both played baseball. Now, Michael Jordan was not that great at baseball, but Bo Jackson was an absolute beast. Like he was I think he's the first professional athlete and only professional athlete to ever get like 2 All-Stars in like individual sports.
Yeah.
Like he got a Pro Bowl in football and an All-Star, and he made the All-Star team with or in baseball. But yeah, like I mean, I just also think like they're also like really great in terms of like their own similar stats. Like Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson, clearly one of the greatest running backs of all time. So I think just like between these two guys, like I think as well as them having like similar sports they played, they're also were like one of the greatest of all time in each of their positions.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good pick. It's really good to also highlight on the multi-sports that they've played so that you know, like, it's something that has to be acknowledged because some people are goated in their sport.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that you can even see that they can even be multi-sport athletes and really athletic.
Yeah, in fact, like you can see there's many athletes who try to go to sports, like Kyler Murray tried, Russell Wilson. So like there's many athletes who try to do both sports.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were able to do it's very impressive.
Yeah. So now for my picks, I picked Victor Wembanyama and Shohei Ohtani, which we've already seen on this show today. But I just wanted to compare. Well, Victor right now is in his rookie season, and he's doing amazing. He was drafted first overall last year by the Spurs. And I just want to talk about the points that he's putting up this season. 40 points against the Knicks, 31 points against the Warriors, and 34 points against the Nuggets. Not all of these games have ended up in the win, but still, any player that has played against them is talking about the blockage. He blocks flat-footed. He just stands there and puts his hand up. He's a 7'4" center.
Yeah.
He has caught my attention. I'm not the biggest fan of the NBA. Love March Madness, love college basketball. I don't love the NBA. But he is someone that's really getting me to watch. Yeah. So I'm really impressed by him. And then I wanted to acknowledge their rookie years because Shohei Ohtani, he was signed with the Angels in 2018 and then won Rookie of the Year in 2018 just because he was putting up those crazy stats. Yeah. He was making the same noise and the same shake that Wemby is doing right now. Yeah. So even though they're not at the same stages of their career, I just feel like it was really important to acknowledge that it's really great when you have those rookie years. And I hope, like Ohtani, that he keeps going and having these great years because he just signed that $700 million contract. Mm-hmm. So he's still kicking.
Yeah.
So I hope the same thing happens for Wemby, and I can't imagine it not.
I think Shohei is probably the face of baseball right now. Yeah. Certainly. And I also think Wembanyama can also be the face of the NBA.
I think I could easily see him being the face of the NBA in like 4 years at the least, because like he's that crazy. Like like a 7'4" guy, like having curry range, having the size to block with 1 foot, like having all that skills is impressive.
Yeah. All right, that was our last segment today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in next week we're going to do it all over again and have more more topics, more segments, and more camera action. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sophia. This is Kylie, Fernando, and Ben. We'll see you next week.